Hello, everybody. Welcome back to DailyRobot, the podcast. I'm your host, Elias.
And I'm Sandy.
And on this podcast, we have so many great space stories for you today, and even a fantastic robotic story.
That's right. We'll talk about how you can win a seat to space. Talk a little bit about the Starship SN9 flight test yesterday, yes, which ended in a cinematically epic explosion.
It was epic.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good word for it.
A little bit of news from Boston Dynamics.
A little bit.
I know.
That's a lot of news.
A few other things too, including a very unique fundraiser.
Awesome. Now, remember, everybody, we love subscribers and followers. So please, if you enjoy the show, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at DailyRobot TV. So without any delay, let's talk about the most amazing story ever. If you want to fly to space and you can't afford it, what do you do, Sandy?
You donate to St. Jude's.
How about that?
Yeah, so Inspiration 4 is going to be the first all-civilian mission to space, commanded by the 37-year-old founder and chief executive officer of Shift4 Payments, Jared Isaacman. He is actually giving away 2 out of the 4 seats on the first civilian mission on Inspiration 4. He's going to be giving away the Generosity and Prosperity seats, which go along with the Leadership and Hope. So you can actually donate to St. Jude's through Prizeo as little as $10 and win one of those seats to space.
How heartwarming is that?
Amazing. I've already donated.
Yeah, so have I. And there's another way to win.
That's right.
If you don't want to donate, or if you already donated and you want to add additional entries to win this seat, you can also start a business. So they have an option for you to launch an online store with Shift4 Shop. So it's Shift, the number 4, Shop. This is a turnkey e-commerce solution that makes it easy to build a website and grow your business. So they're encouraging entrepreneurs out there, go ahead and start a business using Shift4 Shop.
That's right.
And you're going to get entries towards winning a free ride into space.
That's right.
And this is not going to be just we're going to go up into the atmosphere for a few seconds and go back down. This flight can be up to 5 days long. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is seriously a legit.
And they're going to cover, Jared is going to cover all of the taxes, so you don't have to worry about that. And they're also covering transportation, hotels on the front and back end. I mean, it's completely covered.
All the expenses paid.
Probably the single most amazing fundraiser I've ever seen in my entire life.
So we're going to include those links in the description below. And if you want to check it out, go ahead to visit Inspiration 4. I think that's the inspiration, the number 4.com.
That's right.
For your entry. Now, for those of you that can't afford to start a business or donate, and times can be tough. If you can't afford to do that, there is a way to get some entries in there without donating. So there's that option there as well.
So go check out that website
and
see if you can get a ride to space.
For a chance to go into space. That's right. All right. So what's been making noise for the last few days there?
If you follow SpaceX at all, I'm assuming you probably already heard the Starship SN9 serial number 9 flight test happened yesterday, and it was absolutely incredible to watch. The actual launch, the takeoff, heading up into the atmosphere. It went up about, I believe, 10 kilometers, a little over 6 miles. And it started, the belly flop. It's just the coolest looking thing. It's like a free fall, basically.
It was. So I'm going to skip ahead. By the way, this is a video recorded podcast. So for those of you that are watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. For those of you that are not watching on YouTube and listening, you could be watching and seeing what the clowniness that is that even a word that happens behind the set. Anyway.
This thing went about a little over 6 miles up into the atmosphere and then turned on its belly and just came flying down on a belly flop. And because I'm a teacher and I'm a kid at heart, all I could think of watching this video was I kept picturing a face on him, like a little cartoon face going, wee, the whole way down. And something went wrong at the very end there. Unfortunately, however, it was really, really cool to see. It kind of overcompensated and didn't quite make the landing.
Yeah, it seemed like one of its Raptor engines didn't ignite at the right time, or didn't ignite at all. And SpaceX did say that at least they did collect some good data on flap control.
Oh, yeah.
So fulfilling.
It was a successful test in a
was.
lot of ways, even though Starship 9 is, SN9 is no more.
That's right.
But the explosion was pretty incredible. I mean, it looked like it was straight out of a movie.
Here it is.
It was like special effects.
So we have it on the video here. And by the way, for the best quality video, go to SpaceX.com. Here it goes. Oh,
yes.
it hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Little pieces everywhere.
I imagine poor SN10 standing next to it going, oh gosh, I'm next.
So I did watch on SpaceX.com, on SpaceX's YouTube channel, but we also took a few peeks on Everyday Astronaut, another great site out there providing great coverage.
Spaceflight.
Yes. So
another one I was watching.
That's a Spaceflight that was really good. And Spaceflight Now had some good videos. It was good coverage. So kudos to everybody. So anxious to see what's going on.
Yeah, but a lot of success came out of it. I mean, this was by no means a failure of a test. And SN10 is up next, potentially in as short as a couple weeks or so.
Yeah, we'll find out.
So good job, SpaceX.
Yep, good job.
Thanks for the awesome explosion at the end. That was really fun.
Yeah. So this is a show, and that's kind of loud. There you go. This is a show that we love to focus on space, but we also love to focus on robotics. Sometimes both of those things go together, which is great, a perfect marriage for innovation and just science fiction becoming reality. But to get there, you have to start someplace. And Boston Dynamics, as hopefully everybody knows, Boston Dynamics was a very small company that started up in Massachusetts, East Coast. And they've grown to, we've seen their developments over the last few years. They have developed a quadruped robot that looks like a dog named Spot. There is a humanoid biped robot that does backflips and stuff. It's called Atlas. Really incredible.
He's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And
or she.
They had some big news. We did talk about them, I think, a couple episodes ago.
We did. Our very first episode, we talked about I forget the song
Hyundai.
that it was, but
Hyundai purchased a big stake on Boston Dynamics.
That's right.
So
and they had made that cute video.
Oh, that's right. Do You Love Me?
For New Year's Eve. Yes,
right.
That's what it was.
So now Boston Dynamics had a big announcement yesterday, and it is a big deal because it's been a little over a year since they released Spot. This is the dog-looking, resembling robot, right? Almost over a year ago. They've sold over 400 units. Yeah. They're doing really well. And since that time, they've built a lot of key partnerships with different companies like FLIR, like other companies that would provide and interact with, provide and extend the capabilities of Spot, like having different sensors that would detect, like FLIR provides a sensor that would detect, give it the ability to smell in a sense at a hazardous location, right?
Just like a dog would do.
Just exactly, right? So they announced that, and they announced the availability of 3 new Spot products.
Wait, do you think they'll sniff each other? Like real dogs do?
That would be funny, and I wouldn't put it past them. Here it is: Spot Enterprise, Scout, and Spot Arm. 3 new products for their Spot product line. So Spot Enterprise is the Spot robot, but enhanced in order to go autonomously into a potentially hazardous space, like a power plant or a nuclear facility, or some in a deep mining, in a very deep mine.
Or your storage space?
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know.
Sure. Well, storage. Yeah. Okay. See. Okay. All right. You threw me off there. But you send in Spot Enterprise, and a lot of you that are following Spot, you may have noticed that usually there's a guy or a person holding a joystick for Spot, and so that kind of naturally that provides some restrictions to the robot on how far the robot can go. Well, Spot Enterprise now can be controlled using Scout. Scout gives it the ability to be controlled making it like a telepresence robot. So you can be controlled from hundreds, if not thousands of miles away, right?
Yep.
So you could be sitting in a control room, and through your browser, you can control Spot. You can interact with its environment, view the cameras and collect the readings from the sensors, right? So, and then of course we've seen Spot. So now imagine a dog with a with an arm, a mechanical arm, on its head, right? So it's hard if you haven't seen Spot. We definitely going to include these links in the video, right? But so this robot is equipped with an arm, and this Spot arm is installed by Boston Dynamics and can only be removed by the Boston Dynamics. It's an extension of the robot, but that gives the ability to collect samples, right? And then you can open doors. You can do other things, expands the capabilities of Spot, so that when it goes deep into a mine and you want to collect a sample, bring it back for analysis, or even do some analysis there, you can do that. It's very strong.
So could this have potential implications for something along the lines of like bomb detection and things like that?
Absolutely. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Why risk human lives? So Spot is really evolving through their continued research and development in partnership with all these different companies. So great and big announcement. I would love to see Spot in action sometime.
Oh,
so,
I'd love to see him in person.
Right. So really exciting. And again, robotics and space merge beautifully together. So I love to see Spot on on a rocket, maybe, and send him up to the space station or something.
Why not?
I don't know. But who knows? Who knows? So that was big news. What else? We talked about that amazing contest, right? We talked about the SN9 flight, Boston Dynamics. So why not talk about, before we go any further, the next SpaceX flight, right? So SpaceX has another flight coming up to send more Starlink satellites into space, right? So they had initially this flight scheduled for the end of January, and that got delayed. But they're all ready to go. So if you go to SpaceX.com, they have the launch ready to go. And I think it's scheduled for tomorrow.
Yes, at the moment.
Yes. So they're targeting February 4th. Right. The Falcon 9 rocket will bring 60 Starlink satellites from Space Launch Complex 40, SLC 40, at the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, Florida. It's scheduled right now at 1:19 a.m. Eastern Time, or 6:19 Universal Time. So
if you can't sleep tonight, or if you're a
watch
night owl and you
watch a
just
space
don't
flight.
go to bed,
That's right. That's
you
right.
got
Watch a
something
space
fun to
flight.
watch.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. So you've been keeping kind of busy, right?
I have.
Yeah,
My
why?
life has been all about space lately.
Yeah.
Those of you who have watched our show before know that I'm a special ed teacher / case manager, and I'm also the STEM club leader at our school. So I'm the geek, the resident geek at our school. Actually, a teacher told me that today. She said my geek was showing because I was talking to her about some of this stuff, but I'm proud of it. I'm good with it.
Yes.
So yeah, earlier this week, I had the honor of being a judge for NASA and FutureEngineers.com. They had a contest called the Moonpod Essay Contest, where selected semifinalists would be invited to represent their state or territory in a series of Artemis Explorer sessions with NASA experts. 9 finalists will travel with a parent to NASA's Johnson Space Center next summer to learn about lunar exploration. Yeah. And the national winner in each grade division will win a family trip to see the first Artemis test launch.
Oh, inspirational and exciting for the family. For the families too.
I know. Well, I don't know why judges can't get invited, but you know.
Oh, that's How about co-hosts of judges?
This was a really cool experience, though. I was judging the high school level, since that's what I teach, and I had about 60 high school essays to judge on different criteria, and there were some seriously creative ideas in there. I mean, the prompt was to write about your crew, who you would take with you and why, and what kinds of traits those crew members would need in order to succeed for at least a week on the moon. And then the other half of it was, what technology would you bring with you and leave behind on the moon?
Interesting.
further exploration and human habitation eventually on the moon. So I'm not allowed to talk about what I read or anything, but I can say there were some very creative high schoolers, some extremely inventive essays.
I love it.
So there was that. And I recently was awarded a scholarship to attend the upcoming Space Exploration Educators Conference.
Ooh, what's that?
It's tomorrow, Friday and Saturday. It's a 3-day conference, normally held at Johnson Space Center in Houston. This year, obviously, it's virtual. But it is a 3-day conference for space educators or educators who teach about space and STEM and things like that. So there are going to be multiple astronauts there as keynote speakers, and there's also the opportunity for lunch with an astronaut. I'm going to be having lunch virtually, of course, with an astronaut tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. Yeah. There will also be some very unique keynote speakers, including, I'm really excited about this one, Andy Weir. He is the NASA employee who wrote the book, The Martian.
Oh,
which there was a movie
about. Movie.
Yeah, the movie with Matt Damon was based on that book. So I'm really excited to hear from these speakers and from these astronauts and all. But then there's also breakout sessions, multiples a day, that are by grade level, where they're going to talk about how you can take certain STEM and space type activities back to your schools and your students. So this is going to be truly amazing. And a little shout out to my school.
I'd love to hear from it.
Yeah. I appreciate my school giving me the professional development days off so that I can stay home and participate in the full conference without distractions. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And I'd love to hear some of the materials and whatever you learn from the conference. It can be great to learn something about that.
Well, and a friend of mine who is a kindergarten teacher is also attending.
Oh, excellent.
And I'm hoping we're going to have her on the show shortly afterwards so we can kind of talk about our experiences with the conference.
Yeah. Yep. Looking forward to it. Yep. All right, great. All right, let's keep going with the space topic here. There is a smaller company called Blue Shift Airspace, and they made history. Yeah, I'm going to play the video here. That's loud. That's right, yeah. Woo. Whee. And the reason they made history is because they launched a small rocket powered by bio-derived solid fuel to act as a test bed for future Blue Shift rockets capable of launching tiny nanosatellites and smaller payloads. It's very small. It stands 20 feet tall and can carry 17 pounds. Now, they have plans to grow this, but this was a successful test. They had some not so great starts before, but they're a small team. They were founded back in 2014. It's a team of 8 people, and they want to be basically the Uber of space launches,
right?
For smaller payloads, right? So,
it's Scott.
I love Scott Manley. So yeah, always watch his videos as well. And so if you want more information about that, they're a growing company. I'd love to see where they're going to go with this, and we need more smaller companies competing here because this is how you're going to get the cost of going into space more affordable for smaller companies and smaller countries. We need more space flights. How about that?
Well, I like too, it says on the website, one of the first things it says actually in the article is that this is the world's first rocket flight from Maine.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're expanding. It's no longer only NASA sites and things like that. Even within our own country, we're starting to be able to launch test flights from different places. That's right. So that's exciting.
Cool. All right.
We could potentially have rockets launching from every state in the country.
I'm going to move to. I'm not moving to Maine. But I want to see more space flights. So
yeah,
we talked to Eric the other day on the show, and he lives in Cocoa Beach. So, man, I just keep thinking about that beach and seeing space flights out of my backyard.
I was thinking about that beach today while I was running in the just below freezing temperatures outside, and I thought,
Ice Queen, you're too brave. Oh yeah, it's with the T-shirt.
That's right. My shirt says I am brave.
All right, so what story do we have? Before we end the show, we have a fun story for everybody.
We do. I love
animal
this.
lovers.
This is more of a pop culture thing, but the San Antonio Zoo has one of the most unique fundraisers
Yeah.
I've ever seen. Apparently they've done this before. I just hadn't seen it. But you can actually buy a cockroach or a rat.
Okay.
Name
Cry
it
me a
after-
cockroach, it says.
Yes. Name it after your ex and then have it fed to an animal in the zoo.
Alrighty then.
So I think it's $5 for a cockroach, $25 for a pre-frozen rat.
Okay.
It actually sounds really disgusting to me, but I think it's really funny. And you can even, new for 2021, you can symbolically purchase an herbivore option.
and it seems like they're going to broadcast this on their social media on February 14th.
That's right. So if you've got an ex out there that you want to get a little revenge on or something like that,
okay.
you can buy a cockroach.
Oh,
and
there's a
name
little
it
pop
after
culture
them.
for you.
There you go.
Anyway, with all that, thank you everybody for listening and watching Daily Robot, the podcast. Please follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We are a newer podcast, newer show. The Smart Robots Review show that we have on YouTube, that's doing okay. But we love the subscribers and support. So please, if you like the show, share this with your friends and family. Click subscribe. Send us your stories. We'd love to hear about your stories. If you attended NASA Social, if you've seen rocket launches, if you are in the industry, we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
I think our audience would love to hear from you, all 20 of them. And until next time,
Bye.
bye.